example number 1. This is the next part. This is the majority of this unit. And I guess it goes part with example number 2. So both, like this one page is everything that we've been working towards. And the idea is that you have to do this without a calculator. So you're going to want to do this by memorization, meaning you'll probably need to memorize this chart. You've done it already, but just to remind you, I have 0 degrees, 90, 180, and 270 degrees, and this is back to 360. Halfway in between is 45, and then I have these ones which I label as 30 and 60. Now this is supposed to be a unit circle, so you go this dot right here, there's all of these dots here. So this one is at 1, 0. This is go over none, up 1, 0, 1. Left 1 over, left 1, up none, and over nothing, down 1. So those ones are pretty straightforward. And then these ones you will have to memorize. So you start on the right and count up 1, 2, 3, and then count down 1, 2, 3. Cut them all in half, and then square root the tops. Now I'm not going to square root 1 because the square root of 1 is 1. Then I'm going to have a little thing here that says that cos of whatever angle you're looking at is going to be on the left, and sine of whatever angle it's going to be on the right. It's alphabetical, so C and then S. Then we will do tangent.
Now we have to do tangent here, sorry. So we've got all of these. All the left sides are cosine, and all the right sides are sine. Tangent is the, and we did this before, but tan of any angle is sine of the angle over cos of the angle, which in this thing is the right over the left. So 0 over 1, 0 over 1 again is 0. A half over this. Now remember that the 2's ended up canceling out, so a half divided by, so the right divided by the left, and we ended up flipping the second. Those cancel out, so you have 1 over root 3, or you have 1, the right, over the left, root 3, so that's how I'm going to do it, 1 over root 3. So this one right here would be root 2 over root 2. Root 2 over root 2 is just going to be 1. Anything over itself is 1. And this one is going to be the right, which is root 3, over the left, which is 1. So we'll just do root 3. Here we go 1 over 0. 1 over 0 is not possible. You can't divide by 0. Here you have 0 over negative 1. 0 over anything is 0. And lastly, we have negative 1, the right over the left, which is 0, which is you can't divide by 0. So this whole thing has to be memorized. We will now try to answer some of these questions. Now, I'll just do the, I'll just do 3 at a time here. So sine of 120 degrees. And I'm going to go fast through these things. To, maybe it'll seem fast. And the idea is just to watch it. Watch me do a few of them. You should maybe I'll just do the top row. We'll do a row at a time. Watch me do a few of them and try to recognize the pattern before you try to do it yourself here. So the sine of 120. Now 120, if you look on this list, and this is why we have to put everything together, 120 is nowhere on this list. I go up to 60, 90, and I jump right to 180. 120, somewhere over here. I do not have it on the list. All of these will not be on that chart. So what you need to do is you need to graph sine of 120. So there's 90, so 120, somewhere right here. It looks kind of garbagey. So 120, it still looks bad, but let's call that 120. I'm going to erase this 90. 120 is on there. It's not on my chart, so I drew it, and I look instead at the reference angle. So my reference angle here is going to be between 120 and 180 is 60. And believe it or not, 120 and 60 are going to have the same answers. So 120 is not on my chart, so instead I reference something else. I refer to this other angle. I go to the reference angle. So sine of 60. So I'm going to look at sine of 60. Again, sine is on the right, 60 degrees. So here's 60. and root 3 over 2 is over here. So my answer is going to be root 3 over 2. So I'm literally just going to copy it. It's root 3 over 2. Okay, so sine of 60 is root 3 over 2. So sine of 120 is root 3 over 2. After that, I told you they were, and this is going back, I think, 2 lessons. I can't remember, 2 videos. I told you that there are times when there are 2 times, 2 quadrants where sine is positive and 2 quadrants where sine is negative. It was called a cast rule. Now, we are drawing 120 is in the S quadrant. So that means sine is positive. The other 2 are negative. Sine is the only one that's positive. I have a positive, so I'm going to make mine positive. And it's going to seem like I did a lot there, but let me just quickly recap it. Sine of 120. 120 is not on my chart, so I draw it. And instead, I refer to a different angle. I refer to 60, because that's my reference angle. So I use my answer of root 3 over 2 that I got from using my reference angle. So I don't have 120, so instead I use 60, look at the chart, and I get root 3 over 2. Then I plug it, I look at the cast rule, I look at which quadrant I'm in. I'm in the sine quadrant, so only sine is positive. I have a sine, so I make mine positive. Let's try the next one. Again, I'm just kind of flying through this, and you'll eventually see a pattern. So here's 180, and here's 270, 225, right in there. In fact, that's right in the middle. So I have this this 225. I do not have 225 on my chart. So instead, I need to use a reference angle. So I need to look at this. The gap between this is 45 degrees. So my reference angle, theta r, is equal to 45 degrees. So instead of using 225, which is not on my chart, I'll use 45. So here's 45 and root 2 over 2. Because it's cosine, it's root 2 over 2. So I'm going to copy that down, root 2 over 2. So again, 225 not on the chart, but I use the reference angle and I'm good to go. Then I use the cast rule. I am in the t quadrant, meaning tan is positive. Am I looking at a tangent right now? No. I'm looking at a cos. Well, in this quadrant, only tan is positive. I do not have a tan, and only tan is positive, so I have to make mine negative. Moving on, tan of 210. So right here is 180, here's 270, 210, kind of over there somewhere, 210 degrees. 210. I do not have that on my chart. It doesn't go to that number. So instead, I look at my reference angle. The gap in there is 30 degrees. So my reference angle is 30 degrees. So I'm going to look at tan of 30. So 30 degrees. Here's 30 degrees. This is the right over the left, which I already did. And it's 1 over root 3. So look at my chart, and it's 1 over square root of 3. Then I use my cast rule. C-A-S-T. I am in the tan quadrant. I happen to have tan, and in the tan quadrant, only tan is positive. Luckily, I have it, so I'm going to make my answer positive. This one's a little bit more work because I can't have a square root on the bottom, so I'll times it top and bottom by the denominator. So then I have a positive 1 times root 3 is just a root 3. Root 3 times root 3 is a 9. So I have a positive, root 9. So I have a positive root 3, and the square root of 9 is just 3. So hopefully you can see a pattern now going that all of these are not on the chart. So I have 180, I have 270, 240 is here. I do not have 240 again on my chart. So instead I need to look at this reference angle. It is 60 degrees. So I'm going to use my theta r is 60. So I'm doing sine of 60. Sine is on the right, and 60 is right here. So root 3 over 2. So my answer will just be root 3 over 2. Look at the cast rule, C-A-S-T. I am in the t quadrant. Only tangent is positive. It's the only one that's positive is tangent. And I don't have it. So my answer must be negative. There is no square root on the bottom. So that is it. I am done.